Shucks, that's boxing at its finest right there. You heard it. They said it. Make that bet. Everything on the line. You know, that's old school right there. That's everything on the line. I just know that he's not the same person that we seen the last time we seen him in the ring.
If I get him where I need him to be, he's gonna sleep for sure. Soften him up, then fry him.
When they watch us in here working, they saying we going bang, 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 bang. There you go. Good. There you go. When he get in that ring, he's on a mission. Because he understands that he got to put his pants on, training wheels going. You got what you for. Let's get it now. Slow it down. Good word, good word. He ain't playing with nobody. Step in that ring with him, be prepared.
Gervonta Davis has returned to full training camp alongside Calvin Ford, with excitement building around his comeback and the big fights that could follow. Calvin Ford believes that stepping into a high-stakes matchup could unlock a more dangerous side of Davis once he gets in the ring. He also feels Davis is in a strong mental state right now, potentially preparing him to fight with sharper intensity, greater focus, and a more aggressive edge than before.
You know what I'm saying? This fight might bring that beast back. You always talk about, I don't want to do certain things because I need my beast to be in me, you know, and being around him, he's at a good place right now, a great place.
Meanwhile, Joe Rogan characterizes Davis as a fighter who waits patiently, gradually wearing his opponents down before suddenly unleashing his explosive knockout power. Rogan also points out that Davis has full confidence in his ability to land clean shots, believing that just a single clear opening is enough for him to completely shift the outcome of a fight.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know, man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power.
At the same time, Oscar de la Hoya highlights the level of intensity and professionalism Davis displays whenever he is fully locked in mentally inside the ring. He also emphasizes that Davis's disciplined preparation and dedication in the lead up to fights are key reasons he continues to be regarded as one of the most dangerous forces in boxing.
First and foremost, he's a very nice human being. I really like him as a fighter, as a person. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle.
Continuing the discussion, Roy Jones Jr. states that Davis performs at an entirely different level when his mindset is fully locked in and he is mentally dialed in. He adds that a lot of people tend to underestimate Davis's complete skill set due to outside distractions pulling attention away from boxing. But he cautions that when Davis is completely focused, he becomes a major threat capable of troubling anyone in the division.
Tank is disciplined and got his mind on right. Tank is a problem for anybody. Tank can fight better than most people think he can. It's just that sometimes his outside antics get the better of him and it makes people think less of him, but don't underestimate Tank Davis. Tank is motivated and ready to fight. Tank is a problem for anybody.
Expanding on his analysis, Roy Jones Jr. slightly favors Stevenson in a possible matchup against Davis, pointing to Stevenson's steady consistency and his ability to maintain control both in and out of the ring. Even so, Jones makes it clear that Davis is still the type of fighter who can flip a fight at any moment, thanks to his explosive power, sharp instincts, and natural athletic ability.
Right now, Shakur wins it because of his discipline. Because he showed against Teofimo, they can stay very disciplined all night. And he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally. So it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside the ring. And as we see, sometimes Gervonta has problems with discipline, but we have never seen Shakur have problems with discipline. We've seen him be more disciplined at the right times than we've seen him not have discipline. So with the fight being like it is right now, I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get it twisted. If somebody could beat him, Tank Davis would be that person because of his intent.
On the flip side, Calvin Ford recognizes Stevenson's technical skill set and feels that, against Davis, Stevenson would probably lean more toward a controlled and careful approach. Ford adds that this kind of tactical style could shape the fight in a way that surprises many fans, creating a matchup that plays out very differently from what most people are expecting.
Shakur, he's the better boxer.
Yeah.
That's why I always make this. He would make the fight boring just to win.
Right. Yeah, I think you would too.
Dude, I want to put Youngin in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't make sense. Because fans come to see what? A fight.
In contrast, Timothy Bradley slightly sides with Stevenson in a possible showdown with Davis, pointing to his skill in controlling range, dictating the pace of exchanges, and maintaining calm under pressure. However, Bradley also stresses that Davis carries exceptional punching power, the kind that can instantly turn a fight around with a single precise connection.
You know, if you really think about the style matchup between these two, you got one of the best defensive fighters, if not the best defensive fighter in the game. You got one of the most accurate fighters, power punches in the game as well. But you have one that throws less punches. He probably had many of these top guys at 135 pounds, he throws the least amount of punches. You got a guy like Shakur who he showed you that he has offense. I think stylistically would favor Shakur, based upon his defense and his offense now. Yes. But again, all the way locked in, all it takes is one. Take. And if he lands that one, man, it could, I don't know, could be bad for Shakur, it could be not. Maybe Shakur takes it. You know what I mean? We really haven't seen Shakur get hit with something that, that really got his attention, or changed.
In addition, Bradley leans firmly towards Stevenson in a matchup with Davis, mainly because he questions whether Davis is completely locked in and fully dedicated to boxing at this point in his career. He argues that if Davis is not mentally sharp, it would be difficult for him to match Stevenson's discipline, consistency, and technical command over the course of a full fight.
If he does happen to face Gervonta, how do you see that fight playing out?
If Gervonta is all the way locked in, I personally think that Gervonta Davis is 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You can't be a 1 foot in and 1 foot out type of fighter. I think Gervonta Davis look for a big payday and then he gonna sell off. So if that Gervonta Davis get in the ring with Shakur, I got Shakur all day, 7 days a week.
Building on the conversation, Greg Hackett describes Stevenson as the more methodical and strategic boxer in the matchup, while also noting that Davis competes in a completely different way, driven by instinct, sudden explosiveness, and natural reflexes. Hackett explains that Davis brings a level of unpredictability that disrupts the rhythm of his opponents, generating chaos inside the ring and keeping him dangerous, even when facing highly skilled and intelligent fighters.
Shakur is the better chess master, the better thinker. Tank is the better animal. Tank more like naturally, like his reaction time is countering his ability, agility, speed and power all mixed together. He more of an animal. I mean, Shakur more, I'm gonna show you this, but then show you that. And you thought you saw that, but then no, it was this. And then, you know what I mean? He's the trickery guy. He like the 3-card Molly guy, like which hand is in it? You know what I mean? He crafty.
Continuing the analysis, Bernard Hopkins sees Davis as a boxer who excels when opponents start to relax during exchanges, often capitalizing the instant they drop their guard. He adds that Davis has a sharp ability to quickly interpret reactions in real time, and he takes full advantage of even minor errors, transforming close-range exchanges into high-risk moments almost immediately.
Tank carries the power. He's sneaky, explosive. You think you're doing something, and he rides off that overconfident. Where now he recognized this old school.
He's so interesting too.
Baltimore, Maryland. He's so old school. Know what old school is?
Yeah.
Anybody that throwing punches is open to get hit. Anybody and everybody that throw punches, you leave an opportunity. It's who get there first.
Breaking down the technical matchup, Teddy Atlas considers Davis one of the most well-rounded fighters in boxing due to his adaptability against any style he faces in the ring. Atlas explains that Davis has the ability to manage range effectively, where opponents down from different positions, and then sees the moment once an opening appears to close the fight decisively.
From a technical basis, he is so complete. He can go get you. He could go inside. He could go outside. He could use the ring, which he does often, and he can counterpunch. He can do so many things. He can time you. He can go to the body and the head, of course. And,
Continuing his analysis, Atlas adds that what sets Davis apart is his composed and disciplined approach to managing every phase of a fight. He explains that Davis maintains full awareness even in the middle of exchanges, blending patience, ring IQ, and controlled aggression to remain a constant threat while avoiding unnecessary risks or poor positioning.
Your greatest responsibility is to never let the game get ahead of you. Never get outside the game. Never get outside the game. And he never lets the game, he being Davis, never lets it get away from him. Never lets it get ahead of him. He stays contained. He stays controlled. He won't go in there. Even when he's being aggressive, he's taking little steps. Because he's all along the way, he's aggressively cautious. Aggressively cautious, where he understands the domain that he's in. There's never a moment where you don't understand. He's cerebral, I guess is what I'm saying. He's cerebral inside that ring.
Adding further perspective, Robert Garcia rates Davis as one of the top fighters in boxing today, highlighting how complete his skill set has become inside the ring. He points out that Davis brings together excellent timing, pinpoint accuracy, and fight-ending power, a combination that makes him stand out as one of the most dangerous competitors in the sport right now.
I think Tank, at this point, he's unbeatable at the lightweight division against any of the world champions. I think he's the top guy right now at that division. He had a great performance. He has his timing, his power, accuracy, everything's great, man. He's the perfect fighter right now.
Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn considers Stevenson to be one of the rare fighters who could truly test Davis. And he believes that such a matchup would rank among the biggest spectacles in boxing. On the other hand, Leonard Ellerbe pushes back against that idea, insisting that Davis dictates fights at his own pace and still possesses too many weapons for Stevenson to handle.
Tank against Shakur is one of the biggest fights in the sport. I think Tank is so exceptional, it's going to take someone as good as Shakur to give him a real fight. And I love that fight. I love that.
What? Shakur can't beat Tank.
I disagree.
He beat all the other fighters.
I disagree.
He can't Tank.
I disagree.
Tank
loses rounds.
Tank decides to do what he wants to in certain fights.
Me and you have a big bet on that fight.
Most definitely.
I think Shakur's the man to beat him.
Shakur cannot Tank. He's a very good fighter. A lot of respect for him, what he's done in the ring. Got a good team around him, but he can't Tank. Can't beat Tank.
I disagree with you.
Analyzing the matchup, Terrence Crawford recognizes Davis as one of the top-level talents in boxing, but he ultimately leans towards Stevenson due to Stevenson's ability to manage distance and shut down an opponent's offense. Crawford also suggests that Stevenson's approach would likely make Davis work through a much more complex and challenging fight than he typically encounters.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. You know, Shakur's different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else.
Adding another viewpoint, Sean Porter suggests that a matchup between Stevenson and Davis would likely turn out to be much more strategic and demanding than many fans anticipate. He explains that Stevenson's discipline and boxing IQ would push both fighters into a slower, more controlled battle, where timing, positioning, and technical decision-making become far more important than raw aggression.
I said everybody thinks that Tank is gonna go in there and just knock out Shakur. It's gonna
That's not gonna happen.
But it didn't take. It shouldn't have taken this fight.
I knew he couldn't.
For people to realize.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew that too. But yeah,
Shakur is a defensive specialist.
And I've been saying this for a long time. If you pay attention to how Tank would react whenever Shakur's name came up, I was like, yo, it's something that Tank knows that most people don't know or understand. There's something that he sees in Shakur. It could be the fact that Shakur was a 2016 silver medalist. You know,
he's got a lot to do with it.
He's that, you know, the silver child of the country, and you know, there's no telling. But this is what I've always known. It ain't just a big straight left or a big left right hook coming from Tank that's going to end that night. That night is going to be the most strategical you've seen both these guys ever be in a fight.
Furthermore, Porter adds that Stevenson's ability to dictate the pace and stay highly aware in the ring could lead to a frustrating style of fight that Davis doesn't often run into. At the same time, he points out that a clash of this level might also bring out a different side of Davis, since top-tier opposition often pushes elite fighters to elevate their performance and reveal new dimensions under intense pressure.
But when you get in there with Shakur, it's going to remind me of Deontay Wilder fighting Tyson Fury.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because what you going to do when you come across a motherfucker can't knock out? Yeah. Only thing you going to do is just get more frustrated.
That's a terrible analogy.
I'm just saying.
Only reason why I'm saying it's a terrible analogy is because Tank Davis. Remember, you've heard Coach Cal say this all the time. He says it's the same thing, and I know exactly what he means. We just waiting on somebody to pull it out of him. You ever hear him say that?
Yeah, yeah.
We got so much. It's just we ain't been able to show it because ain't nobody been able to pull it out of him. We looking forward to the big fights. We looking forward to the big matchups because those are the kind of people that's gonna pull it out of him. So with a fight with Shakur, you're gonna see this boxing style that you don't usually get from Tank.
On the other hand, Andre Rozier sees a potential clash between Davis and Stevenson as one of the most balanced and stylistically fascinating matchups in boxing. He explains that it would be a true contrast of styles, with Davis bringing explosive attacking power while Stevenson offers precise technical control. Rozier also notes that the fight could become very difficult for either boxer if the momentum swings strongly in favor of the other at any point.